What's up, fam bam? It's your boy GRC. This is Crypto in the Morning. How is everybody doing? Give me 1 second because I'm just tweeting this out so I don't forget. Not tweeting it, but I am going to jump really quick so I don't forget because I always forget. And we're not about that life. There we go. Guys, how's everybody doing? Let's get to the comments real quick. Your boy GRC. I've been out and about in the streets. GRC's been running the streets. I've been out and about having conversations with other humans in person. I know, guys. I know. Scary stuff. Terrafin, great to see you. If you're not first, you're last, Terrafin. Thanks for being the first guy in here. Rick Schmitz, are you not entertained? You will be entertained today. That's for certain. We have a lot to cover. And to be honest, the crypto crash is really nothing to cover at this point because it's crashing, and everything's crashing. And so I'm not going to really cover that. I'm going to cover stuff that's important and stuff that people can learn while we go, because this is the greatest time in the history of my life to be investing fiat into cryptocurrency. Maybe not this exact second. Maybe like tomorrow will be a little lower or the next day. But we're talking about 95% dips from the top. And what have we been hearing about 95% dips since the beginning of my crypto journey? Richard Hart has screamed it over the hilltops. He said these 95% dips, the volatility, this is the reason for the explosive price action. This is not the reason you don't want to be in it. This is the reason you do. Sam, you do want to be in because of the volatility. Because if you understand volatility, then you have no issues. It's just like, dang, did RH really stream last night? Did I miss all of that? What? How was that RH stream last night, guys? Was it good? Somebody in the comments, let me know how that RH stream was. I got to cover that. I don't miss too many of those. Mirroring your aesthetics. Thank you, Morton. Thank you. You like that? Look at that. No pump. Absolutely dry. No food in my system. Just water and caffeine. 0 calorie. I could go another 5 days without eating, and I could beat you up every day. Literally, I feel that way sometimes when I'm in my zone. I just feel good. I feel really good lately as far as my physical being. My physical being has been feeling great. So, guys, crash, rant fish. Guys, share this. Make sure you share this out. I'm not letting y'all just slide. Like, you come in here, slide right through. You think you own the place. But guess what? I own the place. So let me real quick drop this link in here. And I'm going to force you guys to retweet it, because I want to do that. Thank you very much for retweeting this. Guys, if you could share this out. It's a Monday morning. You know Mondays are my time to shine. When everyone else is hurting, GRC is pumping weights all day long. In the gym this morning, I was up at 5 a.m. I drank last night. I've been drinking a little bit. And I woke up same time, went for my walk. Amazing. I fed the ducks. I did the whole thing, guys. This is GRC. Sam Stoltz in the background in makeup. We're going to be talking about the Lightning Network, RBLT token on the Colt add-on token that I don't know too much about yet. We're going to talk about base token a little bit, talk about the Maximus stuff a little bit, but in general, what me and Sam have kind of been trying to work through is in our minds is Bitcoin adoption friendly enough? Because let's be honest, it's not like a dream for adoption, but Sam's telling me some of these things can almost be a feature. It's like in his head, he's working it out. He's like, this extreme volatility, it's almost the same point. It's like if you tell someone about extreme volatility, they'll initially be scared. If you tell someone that Bitcoin doesn't scale well, they'll initially be scared. But that just might mean more fat bags in your pocket, to be honest. So we're going to be talking through scaling. I want to know what Sam knows. Lightning Network, Bitcoin. Let's get into it. I have also, special treat for Sam. It's actually a little bit of a longer video. How to make money by doing the nodes on the Lightning Network. Bullish has a little experience. Sam wants to know more ASAP. Like, you should have seen his eyes. It was weird. Guys, 1 minute and 9 seconds of DeFi proof. Biceps in the chat for DeFi proof. Crypto in the morning, Monday morning. You guys know I love it.
know what time it is. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. 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 Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hacks and I'm making a stay. Got me some heads on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim Reddit sent me to show you the way. Crypto in the morning. 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 Crypto in the morning.
Howdy.
Hello. I am muted. Good morning, sir. I am doing amazing. I am so pumped. I love Mondays. It's like, why do I need drugs when I'm high on life every day?
Mondays make me high as hell.
I get excited about all the progress. I get excited about what I'm learning. I get excited to come on the show. Life is amazing. We're going to be talking about some killer topics today. Killer
Real deal topics.
We've got some Lightning Network stuff. We're actually going to be talking some car talk, right? Some people in here like exotic cars. We're going to mention Ferrari a little bit later on. And then you guys have heard of Cult, right? We've been talking about them a lot lately. Well, there's a add-on little brother, little sister token that is coming out. And I read through the 30 pages in their white paper this morning.
Which is a long one.
It's a long one. It's a long one.
Is that a red flag for you at all when you see something that can't be explained in 12 to 15 pages?
No, because I think of copy. I think of copy is the first thing that comes to mind when I read through this revolt paper. And when you think of copy, you're like, what is copy? On the one hand, copy can be used for manipulation, right? On the other hand, copy is the art of persuasion with words, right? To effectively get your point across through words. And you got to pull people in. So when you think about copy, it's understanding the mind, the psychology of the people who are actually going to be reading the copy just as words, right? Who's going to be reading that and talking to that psychology so that you can connect. We've talked about this several times where if you need to connect with somebody, if you need to get across to somebody and they're speaking Spanish and I'm speaking English, there's a problem there, right? Because we can't connect. If they're talking shit about me, I have no idea they're speaking another language. So copy, you need to understand what's going on in here to be good at copywriting, to be able to speak the language that is going on here. So when
you're saying almost like, it's interesting. It's a crazy concept when you get nuance with it. Like the people that are so good at like you can get so much information about white papers to the point where you can be good at writing a white paper, which is like a skill. Because even if the product is there, white papers could look different depending on who writes them.
Look at
writing them, they would be totally different, but they would be the same thing. So it's crazy. I wonder how these man, those guys must be really detailed. Those white paper guys. Oh, I'd love to
think. So I've been reading through. I've been reading through a bunch of white papers. We touched on Curve a week or two ago. Curve Finance.
You could write white papers.
Oh, dude, 100%. You guys excited for us to come out with a coin maybe later this year? Something.
Dude, I would trust you white paper for fucking.
Yeah. And not only will it be excellent fucking copy, it's going to be an amazing, amazing token. And all of the questions that I get as I read through these white papers are going to make sure that it is detailed so that anybody can get all the answers that they want. Because every single time I read through one of them, there always is information that I feel is lacking. So I think that's an opportunity.
You ever feel like it's overdone? Like sometimes that they just... So white papers are hard to overdo. I mean, unless you're getting to the point where the intellectual will not have enough time to read it. Like
Curve. So Curve Finance. Oh my gosh, that's like reading
Curve-Fi.
the tech. That's Curve-Fi. Thank you. That's like reading the owner manual of your dishwasher, right? Like most. This is what most people would never ever read through the Curve-Fi, white paper, because it is dry. It's math. It is very, very bland. Reading through Revolt is different, right? Because they're trying to connect with people on that one, which I thought was super interesting. I think that the evolution, as you were talking about, people can get good at writing white papers. I think the evolution of the copy in white papers is going to expand, and naturally the transparency in the paper and the ability to articulate one's thoughts and communicate that to the world. Like, how is somebody going to perceive what I'm saying in words written this way? And you're not going to be able to interpret that until you understand how people think, right? So I don't know. It's very interesting. Looking forward to any projects that we work on in the future. How was your weekend, bro?
My weekend was good. I don't know. I have no idea. It's like always good time over here, like I don't, unless I have something acutely wrong in my life, I usually just take care of that first and then I just get back to living, so I take care of things. I went around, I've been out and about doing a little bit of socializing, which I don't recommend. But you should socialize, but I don't recommend spending money to socialize and stuff. It's if you're not exactly where you want to be financially, it's probably not the smartest thing. But every once in a while, my friends drag my ass out of here and they just say, come with us. And I'm like, screw it. So we did it this weekend. It's been a good time. No funny business, kept everything clean for the most part. And, everything was good. I've been having a good time. I've been enjoying learning about, we're going into a bear market, so we're going to have to be a little more aggressive. Me and Sam are, we're going to be aggressive, guys, like in an aggressive way, not like a mean way, but like trample on competition kind of way.
Like the lion behind the bush, just waiting to pounce. We're ready to go. We're waiting for the bull market to start running by, and we're going to fucking destroy it.
Yeah, we're going to be all steadied up. We got our people. We got our things. We do this stuff daily. You already know that. And we're getting savvier on the back end. Every day that goes by, me and Sam are getting better at understanding Web3. Because me and Sam are stooges, dude. Like, you gotta understand. So we're coming into this like a 12-year-old with the first box of crayons. It's like, I'm like, oh my God, you can interact. I can sell these shields on a virtual marketplace in a virtual world where people are hanging out. And I'm like, okay, trying to think that through, like it's a crazy time. But if you can get ahead of the curve, and that's what we're doing, because me and Sam know how to get better at stuff. It doesn't take anything but doing it over and over and over. And we love domination. And we know what it takes. And we have the minds and the bodies and the biceps. Look at that. That is so much more. If you think you can keep up with that guy, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, guys. So anyway, I want to get into I want to pop this video up for you. See if it gets anything in our brain going a little bit, because it's actually about the nodes. Do you want to pop that up first, or do you want to go to the Lightning Network first?
Should we give people context to maybe get into the video, or does the video do a nice job of creating?
I don't know. I don't have enough context on making money with nodes on Lightning Network, so I never really looked at it. But how about we talk about this to start, Sam? Let's talk about what you know about the Lightning Network. So what is it that you've learned so far? What do you think that's interesting? What do you think? Anything, like, it's just so far. What do you think about the Lightning Network? It's Bitcoin, right? You don't use Bitcoin. I mean, none of us really use it that much, so we're not super experienced. But as far as what you've learned on a technical point, and I can read anything you want me to read.
So let's go through this, and then we got a little bit here that we can touch on, because I think Lightning a little bit different than a lot of people in how I see it, right? So Lightning Network is, you guys have heard of Tornado Cash, right? It's the anonymity protocol that is on top of Ethereum that allows you
it so you can do transactions in a way where maybe someone couldn't trace where that went directly.
and which could be beneficial for various reasons. Obviously, the first thing that comes to people's minds is nefarious or washing money, right? But there's plenty of other valid reasons, like would you like your bank statement to be published online to everybody get to see where you spend your money? Not necessarily, right? So it's not just for like the first place your mind goes, or just, which could be negative. It is an opportunity to, you get to provide as much privacy or as little privacy as you like to the marketplace. And when you look at Lightning Network, because it is settled in batches outside of the system, because how slow BTC is, it's kind of like Hurricash for Pulse Chain or Tornado Cash for Ethereum. Right, so it's you can't from my
trace that. No,
you can't trace it. It's settled off network. You can't trace it. So cool. I think that's
huge. I want to highlight that again because you said it in a technical way, but for the people that are just kind of like listening in their ear, guys, we're talking about a really large network at this point. I'm going ahead to say it's in the large category. Bitcoin's pretty big at this point. People know about it. Money knows about it. Banks know about it. We're talking about actually a network on top of Bitcoin that makes the transactions faster, but also it allows for a censorship resistant kind of atmosphere. I mean, what's the word for it? Whatever the word is for like people not knowing your shit, all the shit privacy. That we want, right? I'm so sick. So I have an account with not that much hex on it and shit. And it sucks that I can't send that without using everything. I just don't feel like doing it right now. But it sucks, Sam, because there's some other accounts that I have that I'd like to send those funds to and stake on. But I don't feel like everyone following my shit because I know they will because they're little gremlins. And I don't even care. It's not even that I have a plan of doing anything bad. I just don't like thinking about them talking about shit that I'm doing, or I don't know. People, they write all sorts of slander on the internet as well.
And what you just mentioned is a great point, dude. Like Hurricash, Tornado Cash, you have to do it in block sizes. So you have to do, say, $10,000 worth, $5,000, $100,000, $1 million worth in these blocks to do this, and then they settle together, and it costs money, and it could be slow if there's not enough activity happening on Tornado Cash or Hurricash. But Lightning, very fast, and extremely cheap, right? Because you're batching all these transactions together. So you can not only get shit done much faster than you could with potentially Hurricash or Tornado Cash if volume on those two protocols is low, but it's also substantially cheaper. It's substantially cheaper. I did an entire show on Bitcoin, history of Bitcoin, what's going on. We're also going to touch on very briefly, but there's a DEX. There's a DEX, decentralized exchange, for Bitcoin effectively. And did you know that there's stuff built on top of Lightning that allows me to have USD and send that directly to you using crypto? So think about this, right? Think about this. If you have Cash App, it has to go through the banks and you have KYC and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
This is built on top of Lightning. I have cash in my account, and they said that for the vast majority of users, you do not have to KYC. So if you have to KYC, don't fucking use it, right? But this allows me to send USD to GRC using Lightning. The cost is tiny, minuscule, and it's instant. That's dope. I don't know if that's happening on Ethereum. That's dope. That's called the Strike.app. We can get into that after the Lightning Network. But you want to read through some of these? This is Lightning.
Instant payments. Lightning fast blockchain payments without worrying about block confirmation times. Security is enforced by blockchain smart contracts. Without creating an on-blockchain transaction for individual payments, payment speed measured in milliseconds to seconds. So again, there is centralized aspects to Lightning Network that we also have to learn more about, but that's probably I'm just going to kind of read it as it lays for right now and then kind of fill in the gaps as I go and update people as we go. I know that some of you smarter guys know like some intricacies here that maybe we won't catch, but just know like we're just going from top to bottom here. So scalability, and this is what I talk about more than any other thing. I don't know jack about blocks, blah, 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 computers, blah, blah, blah. But I know when people say something after a certain point, there's a load barrier. I understand that, right? Like I don't need to know the technicals, right? They say it happens with everything. Ethereum, I've seen it real time. I've seen the GUI go up without any choice of my own. You know what I mean? I've seen numbers that have priced me out of transacting. So scalability to me is the most important part of crypto. The most.
Demand, adoption.
Right. But like, yeah, that's after the, like, if you can't adopt, if it doesn't scale right, you know what I mean? So like, I'm always thinking in my head, like, I love the way that RH thought about the scaling. And now he's even thinking about it more because he was building on Ethereum then. And then now he's doing layer 1, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, scalability, guys, capable of millions to billions. And we're going to look into that a little more. Millions to billions of transactions per second across the network. Capacity blows away legacy payment rails. That's probably 100% true. Capacity blows away legacy payment rails by many orders of magnitude. Attaching payment per action / click is now possible without custodians. Incredible.
That's cool.
That's an incredible statement.
That is crazy, right? The capacity blows away legacy payment rails by orders of magnitude. So that's a 10x, right? So in orders of magnitude, that's going to be a 10x there, but multiple orders of magnitude. So you might have 100x or 1,000x. The number bullish. How many transactions are processed by Visa per day? Because you can let me know in the comments or jump on real quick. But Visa and MasterCard process boatloads of transactions every single day, and one of the issues with
1,700 transactions per second. 1,700 transactions per second on average, based on calculation derived over 150 million transactions per day.
And
wow,
Bitcoin can't keep up.
That's what I'm. Say that again.
Bitcoin can't keep up with that. Like Bitcoin, you can't process that.
You nailed it, bro. You nailed. I'm so glad you told me to go back to that and read it, because this is what I've been saying, that you have to look at the actual numbers. That was the quickest Google search in history. And I do the same thing with Fortnite. I always say, how many transactions did Fortnite do last year? Why can't they do this for us? Why are they not here? 990 million transactions, fucking a million, like $10 a pop from fucking every 5-year-old in the world. Where are those guys? I want them. They already fucking know how to do this. This is not there yet.
And Lightning, we don't know enough about it. Like, we're trying to learn as we go through this. By the way, guys, give us a bicep of the chat for Bullish Producer in the background for helping out with the fingers on the keyboard, pulling shit up quick as fuck. So appreciate that, dude.
That was actually a Gym Rat special, that pull up, but
well, biceps in the chat either way for Bullish.
So, but
Take a
listen,
second to
you
share
just
this
nailed
out.
it, Sam. You just nailed it. Okay, like absolutely not the same. They say right there. So that's almost a manipulative sentence, right? Because they're kind of tricking you. If you don't know how many Visa transactions there are and you never put your brain in that space, you wouldn't realize what they are saying is like right now the transactions per second across the network blow away that, because there's no fucking transactions in the network comparatively.
But it says relative to legacy rails. So how I would read
when they say rails, like everything, is that just like the way it works for everything kind of?
So another way that I would interpret reading this sentence is that capacity blows away Visa and MasterCard payment processing per day by many orders of magnitude, right? So we just saw 1,700 per second, I think you said, or was it 1,700 per minute for Visa? Visa does around 1,700 per second. Per second. So that says this sentence would imply, if what I'm pulling away is accurate, that they're at 17,000 or 170,000 capacity per second on the Lightning Network. Holy shit. That's a lot of transactions.
Do you think that's true?
I would love somebody who has a lot more understanding.
Because I'm going to go ahead, if I had a gun to my head and somebody was like, is that statement like balls nailed? I'd say probably not. Because where are we at compared to when this was written? When was it edited last? Was it in a bull market? Was it in a bear market? What were they? It could have been $100 trillion ago, Sam. This could have been written $100 trillion. You know how the U.S. government rolls. The whole game can change before this whole, you know what I mean? Like they can actually change the game in real time, and you have to update your documentation for your direct white papers based on the absolute nonsense that they add to whatever system. Anyway, low cost. So let's get into it. Low cost by transacting and setting off blockchain. The Lightning Network allows you exceptionally low fees, which allows you to emerging use case such as instant micropayments. And I think they're already doing that, guys. So I think for the most part, that already exists in those countries that are adopting Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure at this point they're probably
maybe tomorrow. What we can do is set up the strike.me app, which is available in, I think, El Salvador, United States, and 1 or 2 other countries. And we can actually test this out live where it's in USD, right? So the costs are not going to be there. It rides on the rails. Go ahead, Bullish. It rides on the rails. It rides on the rails of the Lightning Network. So I can send you $100. You send it back to me, and there's no cost to that. Or like it's like Pulse Chain, right? It's like a fraction.
So that rail opens and it's just open, like.
But it stays. So this is how I actually envision layer 2s in the future. And I saw this on Saturday night. I did a podcast thing. You guys can check out the channel with WR footballer in Australia, and he showed me this app, the striker.me app, which this is what my mom would use, or like our parents would use, or people in legacy. They don't understand that it costs a fee to do this, and there's no. Try to tell somebody that in order to buy Hex, you need to have Ethereum. How? And then they're like, wait, what? Why? Why do I need it? That's silly. That's ridiculous. Where, in other words, this Strike app, I have USD, and I can send that to GRC. I don't need to know that it operates on Lightning. I don't need to know any of that BS. You and I, nerds, right? People who like to know this stuff because we're in the moment right now. Before
we want to take advantage of all this information too.
Yes,
absolutely. And I think a guest that would be perfect for us to further have a discussion on this would be Frosty. As some of you guys know, Frosty is working on a project that will essentially build one machine to have a Lightning Network node, an Ethereum node, and a Pulse Chain node all in one.
Wow.
For some of the topics that we're talking about. And he's very passionate about this, and he's already pretty much built up a team of like-minded folks who are gonna lead the charge and try to get at least anywhere from 10 to 20,000 nodes out there, starting with the hexagon base. So I think as we further this discussion, I think Frosty would be a good guest to have on here.
Yeah, let's see if we can lock that in this week. I'm going to be all.
I'll do it right now. I'm on him with Spaces right now because I'm doing double duty right now. But yeah, I'll reach out to him and let him know.
Cool. Yeah, let him know we want him on here ASAP and to talk about some of the other stuff that he's doing. I'm super interested in that industry.
I want to start here. Cross blockchain.
Yep, cross blockchains. Cross-chain atomic swaps can occur off-chain instantly with heterogeneous blockchain. Heterogeneous would mean
diverse in character or content. So homo, right? What do we know about homo?
Homo would be the same.
Hetero would be different. Yes.
So we're talking about different layer ones is basically what they're kind of getting at with a nice little word to get all the nerds excited. So off-chain instantly with heterogeneous blockchain consensus rules. So, and that's a bit of an open-ended statement. So long as the chains can support the same cryptographic hash function, if it is possible to make transactions across blockchains without trust and third-party custodians. That is pretty cool for Bitcoin, right? Because that's obviously necessary, right? Let's be absolutely frank. In the world we're moving in, everyone swaps their shit for everything. And the swaps are getting easier, faster, quicker, better front ends. Boom, boom, boom. So what we're talking about here is them just basically keeping up with the game. Because I think Uniswap is really come on, Uniswap crushes it.
Some interesting tidbits. So I mentioned the strike.me app that maybe tomorrow we can set up a live example and I can do it on my phone live on the show to show people because I think it's dope. But I was never aware that there's a DEX. So one of the issues, to lay this up, with BTC, besides it being slow, is that you have to trade BTC as in like, hey bro, I've got BTC. Can I give you this for dollars? And you'd be like, yeah, Sam, I will Zelle, Cash App, or whatever you $1,000, and you send me $1,000 BTC, right? But there's not. Otherwise, we have to do it on a DEX. I'm sorry, a centralized exchange, a SEX, right? A centralized exchange, which is kind of an issue because BTC is the largest thing out there. But to do any activity on it, you have to do it on a centralized exchange. Until there is a DEX called Sovereign, SOVRYN, which we can get into after Lightning, that allows you to trade wrapped Bitcoin like you and everything else, right? Which I was not aware of. I was like, this is dope. And they're bringing smart contracts to Bitcoin. They're bringing smart contracts to that side. They're bringing NFTs to Bitcoin. There's a lot of interesting development happening over that I'm not aware of, because in this community, so I got off the stream with you the other day, and my girlfriend was like, hey, I watched some of your show. I was like, oh, dope. Thank you. What'd you think? And she's like, there's some people, it seems like in Hex, who seem to be closed-minded. And I was like, huh, yeah, that's interesting.
Wow.
She's not
interesting. She's not involved in crypto. She's not involved in any of this shit. She's a normal chick that does different kinds of stuff. And she just noticed, and I'm so done with this like tribalistic shit is the only thing that works. Yeah, I mean, you could be like that, but like, why do you gotta like spit random bull ass all over the internet? Like, you could support Trump with all your might or whatever, but why do you got to spit random ass bullshit? We know you're biased. We know you don't care. We know you're just picking one side. If you're complaining about everything in general, you're just complaining. You're just whining. And she heard it. She knew what to call. She knew what to call it. Why do people whine? Why do me and Sam not whine? How about we say that? Why do me and Sam never whine? Because it's a fucking useless act. You can whine to your significant other for 5 minutes if you want to bitch about a fucking long. The only thing I bitch about is long ass phone calls with third-party workers. I will bitch about that. If I have to make a 3-hour phone call to Verizon, I will bitch about that. I promise you. There's only a few things that trigger me. Customer service in the United States triggers me beyond belief. I'm ready to fight every single time I talk to a customer service person, and I usually tell them they should be quitting their job any day. By the time I'm done with the conversation, I'm like, ma'am, there's a better way to live. Literally, I'll start saying this shit before I go. I'm like, there's a better way to live. You need to stop doing this. You're ruining this country. And I'll hang the fuck up. Like, everybody. And that's after she like helps me with everything. I'm like, but the idea, but again, like, don't. There's a certain tribalism could hold us back in a way. That's
yes. And we're not, when we talking about these other things, this is from a open mind perspective that if we're putting money into something that we're talking about, we're going to effing tell you up front, be like, hey, bro, I just bought Lightning or whatever the case is. I'm purchasing this cult thing, and we'll be 100% upfront with you, but keeping an open mind to understand this, because first of all, we can bring other people in by talking about what they believe in, what they are, and maybe pointing out some things that we like or don't like about them to create a more collaborative environment. And she noticed this when I got off the stream the other day. I was like, you're right. There's a lot of that happening. Taryn H.
Yeah, she asked if we were going to be in PulseCon. And I said, to be honest, if I have $800, and this is just me being real with you, I'm going to be real with you for a second. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I am a cheap motherfucker. Period. End of story. Until I have $1 billion, I will not be spending cash excessively. Period. Sam knows me. Bullish knows me. I could give a fucking rat's ass. My friends will bring their nice cars over. I'll take a picture with it, send it, fucking move on. I don't care. And you want to say, is that your car? Nope, it's not mine. I don't care. I'm not there yet. I don't care. It's not where I'm at right now. Why must I tell people that's where I'm at? I've never wanted to be that. I've always wanted to earn what I felt. Yes. But for that sake, like, I can get like 5 T-shares for $800. Like, fucking no way. Yes. I'm sorry. For me, though, this is where I'm at. So if anyone wants to pay for me to go to PulseCon, and I think they maybe have DM'd me and talked about me, like, and again, I like to work. Don't get me wrong. I'm a worker. So you want to get me there? I'll fucking help you. Yes. And I'll speak, and I'll help you set up. I don't give a fuck. I'll do shit. I like to do shit. I like to help.
Yes.
And I'd love to meet everyone. So if you want to invite me, if you need an extra hand, I mean, come on. I'll lift stuff up, move stuff, and then I'll speak about Bitcoin.
And the same goes. Somebody had messaged me about potentially, talking over there. I would love to. I'm not going to, necessarily pay to get out there and pay for the hotel. But if somebody else wants to pay for that shit because they see there is a value there, I will make sure to provide value to everybody that I come in contact with, because that's just how I live life.
Yeah, that's
what I enjoy
literally
doing.
how me and Sam go about our days. People contact us because they like us, and then we value prop with them basically. And we're like, we got this info, you got this info. Oh, you don't like reading white papers all day? Oh, I do. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you would like me to just fill you in and then you help me with the Web3 backend? Oh, okay, that helps me, and that helps you. Bullish in some cases, you know what I mean?
Well, look, even though I'm not gonna be present, I might be in Vegas, but now, for different reasons.
Say no.
But if you want to see, and this is out to the community, if you want to see Jim Rat and Sam out there and potentially be speakers, reach out to the promoters, let them figure out the bag and the expenses, put them up with the flights and a hotel, and I'm sure they'll gladly go.
Correct. You're 100%.
I'm a nomad, baby, and I want to be that way until I have bigger bags than Motley. And he might have to die for that to occur. And, I go hard. So, no, I'm kidding. I'll start paying for stuff like that once I have more hex than Motley. So that'll be a forever, probably never. So, but anyway, that was a fun tangent, though.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is how the Lightning Network actually works. The Lightning Network is dependent upon the underlying technology of the blockchain. No shit. By using real Bitcoin blockchain transactions and using it native smart contract scripting language, it is possible to create a secure network of participants which are able to transact at high volume and high speed. Bidirectional payment channels. Two participants create a ledger entry on the blockchain, which requires both participants to sign off on any spending of funds. Both parties create transactions which refund the ledger entry to their individual allocation, but do not broadcast them to the blockchain. So this is what we're talking about, Hurricash or Tornado Cash. They can update their individual allocations for the ledger entry by creating many transactions, spending from the current ledger entry output. Only the most recent version is valid, which is enforced by blockchain perishable.
I love how they went from the verbiage at the top to like toddler, and then they like slowly went into like brainiacs can't read it anymore. Laugh at the person.
Yes. This entry can be closed out at any time to either party without any trust or custodianship by broadcasting the most recent version of the blockchain. Lightning Network, by creating a network of these two-party ledger entries, it is possible to find a path across the network, similar to routing packets on the internet. The nodes along the path are not trusted, as the payment is enforced using a script which enforces the, whatever this word means, atomicity, which is hopefully atomicity, the number of atoms in molecules of an element, or two, the state or fact of being composed of indivisible units. So don't really understand what that means, but it's probably the breaking down into small parts, it sounds like. Blockchain is an arbitrary. This is the last section here. As a result, it is possible to conduct transactions off blockchain without limits. This is dope. Like, this is, people are like, oh, it's off blockchain. It's not secure, right? But think about people in blockchain in four categories, right? People who don't really care for the government, people who don't really care for regulations, people who don't really care for taxes, and people who like privacy, right? So you have these things, and then you have the Lightning Network, which allows you to do some of these things. Terran, atomicity means if anything fails, the entire thing fails, aborts. Okay, interesting, cool. So that way, I think the double spend is probably what they're talking about here. So that's kind of interesting. Let me just finish this up here, and then we can get into some of these other interesting topics. Because I wanted to talk about Bitcoin adoption and how that relates to Ferrari, because that's an interesting example that I think you guys will
Oh,
appreciate.
and another video I need you to do for your sake, because you'll get a fuckload of clicks on it, is the Celsius. So like really go into Celsius. It's kind of a hot topic right now. It's a very centralized crypto, like one of the most centralized cryptos for loans. And basically the dude just robs everyone. But it's very popular. It's very popular. So they have a large community and they're struggling right now. So I think it might be good for you.
Ooh, good topic. I saw that come up in the comments.
It's hot right
Optimal.
now. Yep.
Big
few about not being in Celsius. Yeah. I sold Celsius at $8, guys. And I bought Polkadot and it went down 93%. So my bags are secure. No, but seriously, I could tell even as a noob, Sam, like a noob, and you know where I was at like a year ago, still pretty good, but like I didn't know much. I knew Celsius was a rug. I could fucking the dude, the way Richard talked about it, his hands are just in every little dollar that gets involved. It's like disgusting. And then he's like the most public guy. So he's like, you know what I mean? He's one of those guys he's not behind the scenes. He's telling you to give him your money live. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
So I like the transparency that seems to be increasing, right? Because people are learning. People are realizing that there is value, right? This is something that Trump already knew. This is one of the reasons why he was very successful in what he was doing in politics, is because he was like, hey, if we're going to have this conversation, it can be public, or I can give this information out to the world, because we're supposedly, if you're in a leadership position in government, you're supposedly supposed to be working for the people. And when you see that behind people who are working a crypto project, it's not super common. So when you do something that's not super common that provides value, you get an exorbitant amount of value captured because you are doing it and other people are not actually doing it. So this is very interesting.
Gather any notes you want tonight, but either way, now I just decided, like, if I were you, I would make a separate video on it, really detailed. But tomorrow, guys, deep dive on crypto in the morning. And we're probably going to have a follow-up video that Sam, I mean, depending on his timing, because I know, he's going to get jazzed up. And so whether that's in the morning or whatever, but that'll be like a double whammy, because what we'll do here is me and Sam will really get the broad stroke. And I know a good amount about Celsius. I actually was a user, and I was actually almost someone who really started to believe in the Celsius system until guys like Motley, Dollar Cost Crypto, Richard Hart, they told me, no way, Jim Rat, no way, like not even close. Like, and I understood. Deep dive on Cell tomorrow, including the founder, maybe some wallets, if I can get into it, anything crazy, and a special guest. So tomorrow I'm thinking about, Sam, for the last 30 minutes, let's bring on someone like Motley or Dollar Cost Crypto, someone who really has a good, I don't know, not at the same time, but either one or one person who has a really good idea about what's going on in crypto, because there's people putting a lot of money into Cell, just like you, Sam, guys, just like you. And maybe they're just a little earlier and they haven't had that time, but you'll see the yield and you'll be like, those are good numbers, right? 12%. They seem reasonable. The system seems reasonable. It's almost like a fake trust out. Like, it's interesting. But what are you excited about in general? And were we talking about anything right before that? Oh, yes.
Striker. So Strike. I'm sorry, Strike.
So I have no idea what this is.
So this is the app that is built on top of Lightning. So look how clean this is, bro. Look how clean this site. This is good shit right here in terms of the design. They're coming out with a card, hopefully, where you don't have to, hopefully, use any KYC. I don't know how long that'll be around, but what is Strike? Strike uses Bitcoin technology to offer instant payments globally with no added fees. Use Strike to pay your friends, buy goods and services online, make micro payments, tip content creators, as well as buy and sell Bitcoin. To offer these services, we have partnered with this company here. But basically, if you get into their FAQ, they talk about how you don't actually, let's see, how do I create an account? If you look here, email, you can make that shit up. You can probably make those two things up, and you can get a fake phone number. So you don't necessarily have to have KYC. Thank you for the inspiration.
Quick side tangent. Hextech came on yesterday. You weren't on. We had an absolutely incredible conversation. This dude's getting absolutely nuked.
Yes.
Dude, he's getting ripped. It's in his face. His whole face is he's gaining weight. So you can see so he's a skinny guy. So he's a natural, and
He even looks
gaining
younger.
weight everywhere. He looks 15 years younger. Like, dude, I'm telling you, it was wild. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't gas him up too hard because he's got big bags, but
yeah, Jim Rat walked away, and then I was all right. Let me jump on so he's not by himself. And I was like, "Oh, forget what we're talking about." I was like, "Dude, let's acknowledge how great you're looking right now."
like, how you gain 15 years back in your life in 90 days by Hextech? Like, and
hell yeah,
he's going all the way down with BPC research, everything, dude. He loves that, dude. I'm telling you, miracles are happening. Miracles. I'm witnessing it. I'm not even the one. Like, it's almost like happening, even like independent of me and Sam. We kind of like catalysted this thing, and Bullish kind of like laid it up for us because he was like, I know you guys will talk to these people all day, waste your whole weight. Basically, he's telling us the most inefficient thing to do is what we were about to do. Me and Sam are literal stooges, and we're like, we're just going to Telegram chat with everyone all day and give them information. And Bullish was like, hold on for 1 second, guys, you stupid idiots.
I was like, there will be no show if you guys attempt to do that.
And so we were like, oh, like after he said like one sentence, I was like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. But then what that created was all this like, you had to inspire yourself a little too. It wasn't the people that came here. We weren't doing all the inspiring. I'm doing my own inspiring too, like with the group. Like, it's like a group thing. It's very interesting.
It's an inspiration hearing Hextech 16, like hearing from people like that, from hearing from our other friend who's down over 50 pounds. Like, people, I was on Discord Syndicate the other day, and Black Hexagon, I think she goes by, or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what she goes by.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, this fitness challenge, I started working out. I was like, this is awesome. Yes, everybody should take responsibility for their health and start moving forwards. Like, this is fantastic.
Yeah,
right?
and I just wanted to say like a special shout out to the entire Crypto Fitness Challenge community, because you guys have been rocking, supporting each other, motivating each other, lifting each other up. It's an honor to truly be part of this.
It's crazy. You really see what some people are made of too, that really never had a voice in this way. Some people have never had that aggressive voice. I've always had that. I was smashing people on every sports field possible when I was young. You know what I mean? I had that outlet, right? I was an active kid. I got in fights. Like, this is really true. I'm very expressive with my body. I love to use my body in the way, like, I have a very intimate relationship with my body. And that's something that I want others to feel, because when I was young, I was extremely insecure about my body because I thought I was not whatever the ideal, whatever, I thought at the time. Because isn't it funny, Sam? Because people look at me and they have those same feelings. They're like, look at you. And then I was like, what is going on here? This doesn't add up. We need to have a better relationship with ourselves. Sam, and you taught me this.
And another thing, shout out to like everyone who supported Motley, Marco, JPEG Junkies, which is Staking Apes. We had Hex merch. We had Shield Masters. Sam with his store. Like, everyone who supported and got people like truly motivated to go and like sign up. So like, shout out to everyone else who was supporting this.
Yes, 100%.
And before we move on, because this was a big topic, I spent some time with Shield Masters last night. They're the sponsor for my channel. There has been, not necessarily their business, but in the general world of e-commerce, there has been, there's been hits, right? Steel prices through the roof, right, Sam? Or you can assume, right? You might have to. You don't have to look at the chart. Yep. You don't have to look at the charts. I promise. I promise. Everything through the roofs. Expensive goods are getting less. Guys like Sam will not buy. Guys like me will not. Out of the, like, it's just in our nature. The numbers don't add up, right? So I'm going to be, and they don't know about all this, but I'm getting some professional help with Bullish is helping me. Bullish is a professional, and he's kind of guiding me, teaching me, helping me learn, so maybe I can provide more value to them and provide more value to other people with maybe something at a cheaper price point, maybe something that's a little more personalized. But you know what I'm saying? Maybe an NFT kind of situation. So guys, if you want to know, I'm actually going to be doubling down on my efforts with Shield Masters because it's fun. And I think that I can provide value for people and them. And that's where I'm at with that.
And what he's trying to get at as well is through providing value. If you guys enjoy this and you feel comfortable with what you have put away, there is a GRC over there in the corner for Shield Masters, code GRC50 to get $50 off. But don't, like, if you're not situated, don't do it.
If you're not situated,
you do want to support,
but I think the more people that I want to market to is if you have a business, right? If you have a business and you're making it some money, right? All you young guys that are learning, just stick and stay, baby. Just stay with me, all right? Me and Sam are going to be here for a while. And I know Bullish don't like me to talk down to the shit. He wants.
No, I was actually going to add on to what you're saying. Like, if you have a business, this is a great marketing write-off. You can literally order a shield, write off the entire cost as a marketing write-off.
And this is in your front door when they walk in your facility. I mean, like if you have a facility, Sam, that's a different purchase, right? Because you're presenting that facility. Why do I do this? I'm a streamer. I have a streaming setup, and this is how I like to express my streaming setup because I work with the guys, right? But again, these things are very cool, and I just want to bring a little more attention to it. If anyone has personalized stuff they want to do, they hand paint everything. I wish they didn't hand paint everything, to be honest. They're almost too good at what they do. It's like,
and good thing you mentioned that, like, in case anyone's wondering, like this code here specifically is for the shield, but they also have other stuff they do that starts at $50. So like, check out their website. Yes, and there's other things they can create for you custom that starts at a $50 price point. So
anything, and just go to their website. I'll pull them up. I'm going to be more aggressive in general, guys. I have to do this for myself, and I love Shield Masters. That's not really the point I'm getting at, but Sam gets at me about this sometimes too. It's like I do have a lot of delayed gratification in here, but I need a little bit more get mine sometimes, a little bit more, because I do work really hard. I really do, and I've always been under the case, like, my father was hard on me when it came to working hard, right? So I always have that guy over top of me that's like, you're not working hard enough. But I have to realize, like, I'm an adult now. I'm putting in a lot of effort. Like, I am going to start being more aggressive as a content creator and as a as a personality or a promoter or whatever the fuck you call it. I don't even know what you call it.
And I just want to say, like, like I'm I always advocate that it's like good to support the people that are providing value. Like, these guys are not here selling you crypto or a coin or something to buy or showing you stuff like that. Like, soon, but that's going to be with community support and effort. So that, there's different circumstances, but we're not here doing paid shills. No one's paying us to like push Cult DAO or any other thing. You know what I mean?
This is the most comprehensive, unbiased crypto show on the internet, period, end of story. I don't care what anyone says. I don't bias towards Hex, and I don't bias towards the other way. I just don't, because Sam taught me, pharmacology taught me, everything taught me that's not the way to be successful long term. Yeah, being biased. And it bothers Bullish. It drives Bullish up the fucking wall. That's the only, he never gets pissed about shit until people start saying ignorant stuff that's one-sided because of their prior beliefs. And he's like, that's not marketing. We need to market.
Yeah. So like, I'm a firm believer of supporting the people, and like, Jim gets supported by the shield and whatever revenue he gets from his channel. Sam gets supported by his store and whatever revenue he gets from his channel. There's other people in this community who have other things that has nothing to do directly with crypto. Go support them. We have hexmerch.com. They do merchandise. Like, a lot of people in this community don't even know who's behind it. We're talking about Motley and Wenley's behind it. So like, if you like them, go support that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ways to support, the content creators and the people in this community who are providing value every day without having to, be a paid shield. And they can only do that if we support the efforts they have going outside of this.
Yes. And this is also one of the ways that, like, we go through and impact society.
Motley just sent something to you, Bullish. Pull it up whenever you get a second. It looks like some Bitcoin's about to get locked and loaded and sent out. And Motley don't send me too many transaction pictures, so I want to look at that. That's interesting. He said Black Swan event coming. What does that mean again, Sam? If you don't mind.
Do you know how swans are mainly white?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So when you see a black swan, that's a very abnormal thing to happen. And so something that is very abnormal that happens is considered a black swan because you don't see it very often. So if that's what this is referencing, MicroStrategy, which is that guy Michael Shaler's some
Yeah, break
fucker.
this down as well as you can, real quick for me.
MicroStrategy is that guy who leveraged into BTC, right? Has just transferred 2,100 basically Bitcoin, $48 million to a new wallet for the first time ever, likely planning to dump their bags. This is obviously conjecture. Like, just take this as a grain of salt. Who the fuck knows? This is somebody's opinion, because this is likely planning to dump their bags. Who the F knows what their business is going on? Just like you don't know what the fuck is going on with my business.
But
they're
interesting
now
to note for sure the amount and the wallet. That's kind of what, like, he's going to post the tweet kind of to make it a little spicy. But just for me and Sam, like, and Motley looking here, you might just want to think potentially maybe some of the bigger players that kind of caused that short-term top, Sam. So now we're getting at the point where, like, we know this dude bought the local top. He kind of posted about it the day he did it. So, and then, you know, Richard was very adamant about saying, like, right there, like, you just caused the top. Why would you tweet about that? He kept saying, don't publicize when you buy. You're the richest dude on the planet. That's not you know what I mean? Like, if you're the top guy, you're going to tell everyone your cards. Anyway, so basically what Richard thinks and what a lot of the market thinks, this is conjecture, of course, is that he's going to get the bull market will not start until he gets squeezed out and liquidated. So, and that happens at 11K with the money he leveraged. So that's what,
and we're at 20. We're at the reason that this is like conjecture to the point where, hey, maybe this is the largest liquidation event. Do you know what the price of BTC is? $23,000. Do you know where the point is where additional capital is needed to be put forward in BTC? 21,000. If, right, and there's going to be people out there who will purposely fuck with other people just to hurt them. Like, there's people out there who have enough money, right? They have what they want and they enjoy inflicting damage on other people. And there's a lot of people like that in crypto, but there's a lot of people like that in legacy. And if I know publicly that somebody else gets fucked up at 21,000 and there's some way I can manipulate the market to get them fucked up so that I can purchase BTC at a lower price because they have to liquidate some of their portfolio, we're getting super close.
You didn't make the move yet. You're just sitting there like this. You're in USDC. You're literally no pressure. What's the pressure? Why? There is no pressure. There's nothing but opportunity in the crypto market. Anyone with the brain knows it. We're dropping. We're bottoming. These guys are whales already. Think about their position. I try to put myself, I always think of myself as, like, you know, top dog. So come on. But I always think about I put myself in these positions because I know I'll be there, right? Like, and I know I feel my journey. I know where I'm going. I visualize it. So I put myself there in their spot, and I'm like, I cannot wait to be in the position where I can outweight someone that just told me they were going to buy the top, leverage everything. Just imagine, guys, conjecture. Imagine if RH is the guy that kind of is going to cement the bottom and start. And what if he was the guy who kind of called the top on the day and maybe caused the top on the day? What if he knows a lot more than Michael Saylor? And what if he knows so much more than Michael Saylor that Michael Saylor can't even predict because he doesn't have enough of that nuance? In RH, let's be honest, if you stare at this shit, you just get nuance, experience that you can't get just by being a smart man.
Like, what you're talking about was literally what we're doing by doing this daily. The capacity or like the veracity at which we're capturing new nuance and little bits of information that other people are not capturing adds up to an astonishing amount. It's over
lifetimes of information.
Because we're doing this every day. Like, we're doing this
every moment. Dude, I'm doing this every moment. Unless I'm directly talking to another person about something else, I am at my house or resting so I can be more effective in the morning, because I do my best work from 4 a.m. to 2. That's just plain and simple. I don't care what anyone says. I can't fucking function as good at night. I get tired as fuck. But because I work hard in the morning. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, oh God, I love putting myself in this position. Just like we were at the gym when we were 18. I knew I was going to be more ripped than everyone. Everyone else did not think that was the case for me. I was the smallest guy. I knew in my head, I said, this guy did it. That guy did it. This man did it. There has to be a way. And then 12 years later, I fucking call crawling to Sam, like, how the fuck do you do this shit?
Dude, yo, Hex is at 3.5, less than 3.5 cents. Ethereum at $1,240. There's some people that are getting itchy, right? Their butthole is getting super itchy because their bags are down so
Glad I don't
much.
have a fuckload of liquid Hex. bro.
I'm transferring money as we speak.
I'm glad I don't have a. Hey, mom and dad, if you're watching this and you want to send me 30 grand, do it. Do it. Because I want to invest your money for you because it's sitting in the fiat.
What a glorious time. And
Dude, Sam, why are we so pumped? Tell the people.
dude, why is this?
So they understand, because they don't understand. Some people are hurting, Sam.
No, you're right. You're right.
Some people are really hurting. Like if I had fat bags right now of liquid stuff, I would be very concerned. I just don't, because I learned about myself beforehand, and I knew that I should be in USDC and Hex. Sorry, guys. I learned that. I learned that early on, and I knew that I should not blow my wad at any one moment. They told me over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I always had $1,000. I always had $1,200 in USDC. I never let it get lower than that point, because I knew if it went to one penny, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm there with something, right, Sam? Not the fucking world-changing wealth or anything, but 100,000 Hex, and I DCA'd all the way down. My final buy is 100. Let me leave it alone for a while. Let me move on. Let me stake that out. There is so much opportunity in crypto right now, Sam. Literally, nothing better could happen to you and me at this moment.
Well, and it's absolutely crazy. It's crazy too, because the excitement that you see coming through GRC and myself, like, we are stoked as F right now for this bull market.
Look at this comment right here. Look at this comment right here. This is huge. Luke DuBois. Am I going to buy Hex for the first time at the low dip? You might be Mr. Dip Catcher. That is a certified mental health professional. Absolute. He's amazing. He's a friend of mine. Amazing guy. Mental health professional. Little bit, I don't want to give too much. This is actually pretty wild. The first time that I went to a rehabilitation center for drug abuse, he was the man that greeted me at the door. Isn't that crazy?
Luke
right here. He was working. He was early on in his career.
Wow.
And so
Luke? How you doing,
my
bud?
mom dropped me off, and I walked in the door for the first time, 126 pounds, 19 years old, 18 years old. I can't remember. And this man was in there working, and today I'm helping him get his stuff in order for cryptocurrency. And I'm telling him how we can change the game in mental health, the game forever. Like right this moment.
And think about how the mental game changes when people are not concerned about their financial bag. And like, think of how excited I am, like literally stoked as fuck to see absolute destruction in crypto.
Yes.
I understand there's people hurting, right? I understand that. And maybe this is the time where there is a shift and there's a grasping of reality for those people life happens, and you got to continue moving forwards and grasping every single opportunity. Every day there's an opportunity. Every moment during the day, there's an opportunity to live purposefully, right?
I had to talk to two people that I was uncomfortable about talking to today. You know what I mean? One of those guys, you know what I mean? With a business partner, but it wasn't like, it's all kind of like new, nothing crazy, but you know me, I put so much pressure on myself. If I don't show up ready for action, I get really upset, and then I get a little reclusive. I get a little bit like, please, I don't want to go there. I just want to do my work. So I had to talk to him today, and they were so like, by the end of the conversation, he was like, I hope you have a better day now. And like, he explained to me some very manly talk. Like, it was not nice talk. It was man talk. And I was very receptive to it. People are always, when I take criticism, I like go ear to ear smiling. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be so much better. Like, hurt my feelings, please. 'Cause I'm ready. I need that fire though. That's one of the downsides of being like the way I am. It's like I kind of need like a little negative energy sometimes to get like really going, but there's enough negative energy in this world. I'm ready. Like, I don't need it. I'm always pretty much happy for the most part when I'm keeping to myself. I'm so ready for these bear markets. I'm so ready to be able to look at the other side of this 3 years from now and just be like, we made the right play.
Who in the comments can let me know how we can track adoption of, say, Hex, for example, of the number of people who are staking, the number of wallets, I guess is the way. But like, I would be curious if the adoption, okay, maybe we can pull that up and just check it over the course of, say, a year, right? Because that's went from 56 cents down. If the adoption of Hex in a bear market, right, from 56 cents down, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes below a penny. Dope. That'd be dope. If it does go below a penny.
That'd be 95% at a penny.
All right. So 56 cents times 0.95
it'll be a little lower than that, but yeah, it's going to be close because
2.8 cents. 2.8 cents is a 95% drop. 95% drop.
What was the top exactly?
56 cents is what people have said.
Yeah. That sounds right.
So look at the adoption. I would be super curious to see if the adoption is actually increasing, at the speed at which new wallets are staking.
Oh, 100%. I know 100%. I look at that shit every day.
Can you pull it up, Bullish?
Yeah, Etherscan won't show that, but I think what is it? Hex.vision?
Well, so if you go to look into hex.com/liquidity. Wait, what stat were we looking at again?
To see how quickly the adoption.
We can look at Dex Screener to see the buys and sells for like the bear market low.
No, but over the time. So say from 56
There's
cents
charts
down.
for that. I got guys in the comments.
Where do we find that?
Best chart? What's the best chart for the adoption rate? It's going to be on Hex.vision probably. But if there's any other cleaner charts, because we always get a little buffed up on Hex.vision. I'm not going to lie here. Here in Crypto in the Morning, we try to keep it transparent. Hex.vision is for like smart ass people that use it all the time. And it's cool, but I haven't spent the time on it yet for me. So like, whenever I work through it, I get wrecked. I'm like, the show is getting wrecked. But let's look at this and see if there's anything there. So scroll down a little, Sam.
There we go. There's actually one there right there. Adoption.
Yep, there we go. Thank you, Gerard. This is Gerardo's website. Everyone, the co-founder of Mintra, the greenest NFT marketplace in the world. Mintra. I'm excited about Mintra. Sorry, had to do it.
I do have that on my list as a deep dive, and I did add Celsius to my list of deep dive projects. So I will be doing
like
a deep
that
dive
setup where maybe we do like the round off talk and then we kind of throw them into your like deep dive. Like, do you like, or do you kind of just not like you're going to do that?
I love doing deep dives. I enjoy it because for multiple reasons. I like learning. I love learning tremendously, but I also like sharing what I learn. And I plan on coming out with a token. And I want to understand the best stuff that is out there. And also, I'm going to read through a lot of stuff that's garbage. Like, I would not put any money into Drip Network. Definitely don't do that. The MRI token, don't do that. Like, don't even check that shit out. But in order to understand the gold and all these unique value props and different ways of structuring anything, I'm like reading through these things. It's also allowing me to get my foot into these other networks of people, these groups, these collectives of people, tribes, as we like to call them, in the crypto space that might be closed-minded to a certain degree. And I'm able to penetrate in because there's like, oh, here's a YouTube channel that is making a deep dive about our project. And I like to save some of the criticism for the second half of the video so that I can pull people in to build their trust on it. Not that I'm trying to be deceptive. It's just like, I want to present everything. Once it's all presented, then I give my thoughts on it. That's just the structure of how I like to do things. I don't let you come out back and just say this is garbage. I like to present it and then talk about the details and then show why it might be. But I love doing that and then diving into it on the show with you and getting into some more details.
Yeah, so I think that's a good, because as we said, we were trying to get more aggressive. So I would like to make our marketing more aggressive as well between the two of us. Because as you know, like that's kind of how streamers get better too. They kind of like help each other because they just double back on each other, if you know what I mean. And you and me are such like lone wolves. Like we've always, and you more than me. Like I'm way more like I'll partner up with people, but like it's I think if we get a little like no financial ties, but just like we keep doing these videos at a similar time and kind of buzz it up, we can kind of make a bigger punch, I feel like. But that's just
and not only bigger punch, but also be more effective in creating valuable content for everybody. I completely agree with that. Let's dive into this chart here. So we've got green here. This is ETH holders. So this is people who hold ETH from day zero, right? So you get to see the adoption of ETH is the slope of the line is much greater than it is for hex. The light blue and dark blue lines are hex current holders and hex total holders, right? You get to see a very slight slope. And then in stakers, so we have the hot pink and purple lines. That is the total number of stakers and current stakers, right? So let's see where we're at. It looks like it's kind of flattening out, actually. Looks like growth of the stakers is slowing down.
That would make sense for the time. I mean, you got to be pretty nuanced at this point. I mean, people are fucking running, dude. Running.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah. Look at the prices.
Dude, they're running. I've never seen this before, bro. Other than the COVID crash, which is different. A crash is different. Like, it was almost like everyone kind of knew and it scared everyone and it just happens all at one time. And then it goes right back up. But
Yes.
What is different about this, Sam? The difference is we're in a macro nightmare. Nightmare. And I love nightmares, bitch. Like,
why am I smiling so much about
dude,
this?
I do too. Because you know what? My family's safe, Sam. My family safe. You know, they have money and they're not going under. And you know, I'm not talking about them, but like my peoples are good. My peoples aren't getting wrecked right now. How many people can I really focus on? With every kid in China, like I don't know all the guys. Okay, but my peoples are good. I have the best opportunity in history to make the largest impact possible in my community. Period. End of story. I can change people's lives with the information that I have. And that's why I want to do the show every day. That's why, because I never had that power before. I want the power. Because I will do it for good because I don't give a fuck. Like my reputation's good. My family's good. I'm happy. Like most people come in this shit, they're all wrecked up, pissed, want to lie about everything, say they have more money than they don't. You have never once heard me say I got shit. And you see my shit on Instagram, like clearly I do whatever I want. Maybe I have more money, but it's not the point. The point is my mindset is like, you have to be open-minded with yourself. Why would I lie about where I'm at? That's not good for progress.
Silliness.
And Sam's never lied to me about that stuff. He never even winces. Like he could be like fucking $100,000 under fucking water. And he'd be like, dude, I'm wrecked. Fuck. But like, he would never be like, he would never, I don't know the word for it. It's just, you would just tell the truth about it. You would just say it. Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, I'm doing good, but this is you're like, no, I made this much money this month. I'm very excited, blah, 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 blah. But I've seen it the whole way because we've been, so long.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You taught me because of your like half like autistic social way of being. You just don't give a fuck. Like, you're just like, it's just broken, that part of you. And that was not the case for me when we met. That part of me was still fully intact. I cared about what other people, I was ruled by my emotional state. My emotional state ruled my life. I was productive, but it was all based on like whatever emotions were running through my head. Like if I have a girlfriend, I feel better about him. Sam was kind of just like one at a time. He was like, start being honest. He's like, you're going to go on not being honest about this? Like, that sounds like shit. I didn't even know at the time what he was talking about. Now I know. I see it now because
we talked about that for a couple of months.
Years, dude, because different things. It was different things. In the beginning, it was like girlfriend shit. And at the end of it, it was like fucking being honest with the people around me. Like, and it was just like, I learned
it's so much better. Like,
and then Derek More Plates, More Dates, Vigorous Steve, the guys that I looked up to in the industry that gave really good content, in my opinion, pretty sold out now on the More Plates, More Dates side. I can't really watch that shit anymore. But that's he's making fucking fat stacks. Good for fucking him, dude. He's
correct.
Absolutely disgustingly successful. But guys like that, I DM them every other day and I let them know. They don't fucking read it or whatever. You changed my life. You made content that made me do what I'm doing today. Like, you can make that kind of impact in other people's lives without you don't have to. I don't know the motherfucker. He's never spoken to me. Sam's a different story because we ended up being friends. But for this guy in particular, he changed my life with his detail orientation and his lack of bias was incredible at the time. Him and Greg Doucette were above their time when they started making videos. They were being out, dude. Greg Doucette, those beginning videos of him, tell me those didn't inspire you a little bit. because he kind of did it in the same way you did. He would just tell the truth, but not care about what was going on around him. Like he would just be like, tremble on this, that, and the other. I've done it this many times. I'm telling you directly what's going on. And those videos are absolutely still buzzing around the internet. But like those were his early days. The dude was broke. The dude had nothing. It's like, and now look at these guys. Like they pioneers in the honesty category, in my opinion. Do you know those Greg Doucette videos early on that I'm talking about?
I never really got into Greg's stuff or more plates, more dates guy.
I'm talking about like the 12-year-old shit, like his first shit when he plugged his webcam in for the first time, and he was like, "There's misinformation about Tremblant going around." Like literally, like that's all he would like. And I was just like, "Oh, this is the best content ever!" Like a dude who's broke, giving it all just to say the information that is true. He's like, "I don't care. I'm going to." He think he was like in legal trouble at the time, like really bad legal trouble for selling roids. And he was like, "I might be going to jail and shit." Like literally, he was being that fucking honest. And I just was like, God, this guy is raw, man. But now
I listened
he's
to
sold out completely. But like,
I listened to back in the day, Dr. Tony Huge, the lawyer. He's a lawyer. He had a channel that was growing far faster than either one, More Plates, More Dates, or Greg. Right? I know who both of those guys, and I'd catch little bits of their stuff.
Yeah, but they did it the way YouTube wanted.
Yeah, and Tony wouldn't do that, and that's why he reached 100,000 subs. I watched his channel start from before was smaller than my channel, and I was in communications with him at that time. And I watched how quickly he was able to grow his channel, and the honesty and transparency that he brought forth was unheard of, and that's why YouTube took him down. And that's where
he was too real. He was too real. He was too real. He broke the internet.
He did.
Tony Huge can break the internet on any day he decides.
So much censorship.
But even through it, dude, I like Tony Huge's work. He's a weird ass motherfucker. He says he's a weird ass guy, but at the end of the day, he's just like not. He's just being honest.
He's also a nice and very smart guy.
No, but he's just but like that's what the way that I said it is like what people would think, right? He's a wild guy. He said he has sex with transsexuals. I don't think about it like, oh, he's weird because he does this. I think, oh my God, he's being honest in a world where no one else is. Because that's why he says that too. He doesn't give a fuck what you think. Not a rat's ass. Why does he say it? One, it's probably like funny. Two, it's because he wants you to know that he will tell you anything. And I wanted you to know the same thing from me. I'm not going to hide shit back here just so that I can make $3,000. Like, that's stupid. That doesn't make sense. That's not good for business. It's not good for customer service. What are you pulling up over down there? That looks fun.
So this is what Crypto Games Club had actually pulled up or mentioned. I know nothing about it, so this is the first time checking it out.
So Crypt Kitties, that reminds me of a little something. We got some competition for Club Cats CEO. I'll be on that right away. I am one of the lead marketing engineers for Club Cats. Okay. So, so let's hear this. Analysis on the top whale wallets on multiple chains. Choose number of whales. Ooh,
so 100. We'll choose Ethereum.
Thank you.
This is Crypto Games Club. Thanks. This is dope. Whale stats. Whale stats track up to 5,000 of the largest Ethereum wallets. The whales.
Click on holdings. It's the third one.
Thank you. Okay, so this is the top 10 holdings of the top 100 wallets on the Ethereum network.
So what Gains Club is trying to tell us by looking at this is, Sam, you would love seeing the chart of percentage of ETH top wallets holding Hex. So he wants you to see ETH top wallets holding Hex. Let's jump over to that real quick. Thank you, Gains Club, for the insight as always.
Yes, I don't see any in the top 10 here, but this is definitely an interesting.
So go to the ETH. Go to the click on ETH.
Yep, ETH. Yep.
Does it open up the wallets? Double click on it or something on the list.
Well, no, this you can. Whoops. Let me see here. Actually, I clicked on something else, so I can change the total number, right? So let's go to
search bar anywhere, Sam.
No. Activity trade.
Does Hex come up on the top 10?
No. Hex does not come up, right? We have USDC, FTX, USDT, SHIB, BEST. Well, this is interesting, right? A lot of the top wallets have BEST. Never heard of BEST. Never heard of MXC, CHSB, Mana, Crow, right? We've heard of Mana, we've heard of Crow, but this thing here and this thing here and this thing here, never heard of those, right? We've heard of FTX. We've never heard of these ones here. Might be interesting to check out. Top 10 small cap holdings, low 100 million. Pan and all this trash here, or I don't mean trash. I just mean other tokens here. But this is interesting. I don't see anything. Maybe Hex is in here somewhere in terms of the top holdings for these wallets.
Come to find it out. Hex.
So
what he's saying is,
I'll tell you what he's saying. So essentially, Hex is being gate kept. So he wants you to do is extract the data. I already started extracting the data. So I have all the top holders.
Good video, Sam. Good video.
All the top holders for wrapped Ethereum. I'm trying to download the one for Ethereum. I'm getting it straight from the blockchain, and then we can just put them in Excel, do cross reference, maybe a pivot table or something like that, and then see who are the top holders that hold Hex.
You guys are giving Sam so many flipping video ideas. His head's going to explode. And once I learn how to make videos too, I'm going to be a little bit different probably than Sam because he's so efficient. Like it's just way more efficient to like just kind of lay up him into those and then me to get on like a topic maybe where I find someone because I'm really good at finding guys that have really good info. So I'll find like a really obscure dude that can only come on weird times. And I'll just like get into whatever topic that guy knows about. And then we can kind of cover that. Like, that's how I'll do it. And I'm also going to start doing some solo streams because again, guys, like I have to push a little harder for my desire to absolutely dominate. And I want to do more shilling on my part. I want to be more YouTube friendly. I want to continue to move forward because I've gotten to this point right now, Sam, where like everyone in the Hex community kind of knows me. That doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying that because it's true. But Sam, how am I going to get bigger so that because what I only hold Hex and USDC. So if I get 500,000 subs, Sam, do you think it'd be better for business
to get into other communities?
No, yeah. Well, do you think if I had, the only way to get 500,000 subs is to get into other communities. But do you think that would be better for Hex or worse?
Better, obviously. I would think
exactly.
Right?
So like that's the goal, guys. We're not necessarily like. I would love to talk about Hex and PulseX once it comes out only, and maybe that's what I'll do if it's that information dense. If it's that information dense, I will. I literally will. If it comes to that point where this is like you cannot stop covering Pulse Chain because there's so much ARB, I'm going to have to cover it all the time.
Oh no, yes, could, but right now,
I want to reach out to as many communities as I possibly effing can.
And this works, guys. Like I'm doing it on my channel, and it's working because I'm able to penetrate these other communities by learning about them. Right? I use this analogy a lot, but you can't talk to somebody who only speaks Chinese unless you understand Chinese. So I have to dive into these projects to understand them so that I can talk to them in their language and why they're excited and learn about why they like their thing. But then we can start a dialogue about them because adoption is where it's at. I think this is probably a decent time. Tomorrow, we didn't get into it today. So tomorrow, we're going to dive into Revolt, which is the piggyback to Cult. I'll have a deep dive video on that later today.
So just for the video tomorrow, because I already did schedule the thumbnail.
So maybe it's Wednesday.
Tomorrow, this is what I'm going to do for my research. You do whatever you please in the timing you would like. But I'm going in on sell. I'm going to have videos on the founder, obscure small videos that have really good information, and I'm going to talk to some of my guys in the background and really get a good idea about, because if this is really as bad as it may be, I want nobody to invest in this, and I want information to be fair play. Let's say that. I don't care what you do, it's your funny, but like I was almost one of those people that got into the cell. Because it happens, Sam. Guys like me, we go in.
Bro, people are doing this with Drip Network, and it's
Drip's the worst.
And people are getting, it's so deceptive, in my opinion. It's so deceptive. Like they're like 1% per day. You earn 1%. No, bro, you don't. That is not how.
0.013% per day. 0.013. That's the same as the banks, bro. So guys, we get to the bottom of it here. Sell video tomorrow. Just be ready for us. We're gonna be all over the effing place. Keep up if you can. I want to go harder. I need to focus my energy. I need to push. I am not going back to work. I would rather be dead. So this is my work.
And if you guys,
And if you want to support me, you do so. Listen to me. I need your help, okay? Help. No, I'm just kidding. But like seriously, if you want to support, all my links are below. There is an Etherscan below if you want to support. We're in a fucking bear market, so anything you give me is going to be like $1 billion in like 2 years. So it's like if you got like 10 pennies in there, you send it over. 10,000x will look good on any number. So guys, support Sam, support me. We're going to be working as a unit and separately and just really giving dense information out all the time. So me and Sam kind of just promise to the world, other than if we're shilling like something directly, we're going to be focusing on giving you that information so you can trust us when you come here. You don't have to wonder like, what are they talking about? Is this shit a shill today, or is this shit a legit today? Is Sam talking about something that he would actually invest in today, or is he just getting $1,000 under the table today? None of that. We don't want that here. And when I have 500,000 subs, it will be the same way because I've already said it. So I'm fucked if I don't do it that way. So remember, guys, I'm going to be here for a while. Sam's going to be here a while regardless. But we like more than anything when you like, subscribe, and share. When you like, subscribe, and share our content, that makes us happier than any. I don't care what anyone says. I like when people share. I think it's one of the nicest things you can do for a content creator is to share it to someone that you actually think would like to watch it. So like if you have someone who like has been talking about crypto, send them the link. Let them know that there's a show here every single day where they can learn about crypto for free and they don't have to do a paid consultation. Because let's be honest, people hit me up all day about crypto. Unless you pay me $100 for an hour, I ain't sitting there saying shit. Because there's 150 people asking me for advice now. And I'm not even the guy to give advice, but I'll say, I'll teach you how to do security. You know, I'll get you there. Like, I'm not going to teach you how to make any money. I'm just going to, people want to know the truth and they know that I'll give it to them. Anyway, Sam, you got any closing words?
You guys should like my videos, but also if you like crypto, if you want to like get more interactive, if you want to like have more of a dialogue, right, than just a comment and then us blathering on the video, jump over to Twitter. Super awesome place to have some discourse. There's a link down below to Twitter. Jump over to Twitter, say what's good, press the follow button. If you enjoy some of the content over there, press the retweet, right? Same thing goes over there. Let's bring more truth. Let's bring more transparency to the marketplace. Let's try to provide even more value in this. And tonight, 6 p.m. EST, we have a live Q&A, a live update on the Crypto Fitness Challenge that we're going to be doing in the Telegram. So if you're in the Telegram, jump on 6 p.m. tonight. Share your progress. Share what's going on. Share your struggles. We're here to help. We just want to help. We want to provide value in that state. So jump over to Telegram tonight, 6 p.m. EST. Check the channel later today for a deep dive on Revolt. We got an awesome show tomorrow on Celsius.
Tomorrow's show is going to be wild because we're going to start trying to get the topics a little more direct, like a day or two in advance, so we can, because it's hard to double down on the studying if you don't know exactly what I'm going to be covering for me. But now that we're having Frosty on, we're talking about his node project. That's going to be Wednesday or Thursday. We're having the Maxi guys on, or we're having a Gold Key on to talk about team token and bond token, I think it is.
It's going to be Maxi, team, and base token.
Base token. So that's going to be a huge show. Celsius is going to be a huge show. The Frosty show is going to be crazy. Frosty confirmed for Wednesday. Any node question, Sam. This dude is a freaking genius. I don't care what anyone says. The dude's smart as shit. He's got girls around him 24/7. So if people think he's weird sometimes, I don't think he's weird. He's smart as shit. So, guys, it's been an absolutely incredible episode. But really quick, remember, a Pulse Chain 24-hour live stream. That is going to take our channels to the next level, Sam. Because we're going to be live, and I will sit here. I don't care. I will maybe get 2 hours to do something and someone else will come on or whatever. But we're going to be live here updating you live, guys. This is the kind of value we're talking about. And we're going to be here for the community and be leaders for this community, along with merging other communities and teaching people the truth about everything, guys. Let's do the closeout. Do you guys want one in the chat? One in the chat for bought my hex from the start. 2 in the chat for Crypto in the morning, DeFi proof. They're both DeFi proof, so it doesn't matter. But 1 in the chat or 2 in the chat. We already got 1, 2 in the chat. I'm first one to get 3 wins. The dip is an opportunity. All right, now we're taking too long, guys. Have a great day.
You already know what time it is. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. 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 Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hex and I'm making it stay. Got me some hedge on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Gym ready set me to show you the way.